Can you imagine starting from scratch with just $100 and turning it into $1 million empire in 90 days? It sounds like a movie plot, but for one American billionaire, it was a real-life challenge. His name is Glenn Stearns, and at 59 years old, fresh off beating throat cancer, he wanted to prove something incredible. He wanted to show that success isn't about luck or connections, but about pure grit and the American dream. So, he embarked on a wild journey to see if he could build $1 million business in just 3 months, using none of his existing wealth, fame, or contacts. The challenge began in Erie, Pennsylvania. Glenn arrived with nothing but an old pickup truck, a phone with no contacts, and a single $100 bill. His first mission wasn't to get rich. It was just to survive. He calculated he'd need about $3,300 for 3 months of basic living expenses, and he set a goal to earn that in the first week. Life got real, fast. He slept in his truck, eating instant noodles to save every penny. He took any job he could find, no matter how small. He printed some t-shirts and made $60. He cleaned an apartment and got his total up to $169. Then, he spotted an opportunity at a local festival. He bought some cheap t-shirts and novelty items, resold them to the festival goers, and walked away with a profit of over $400. He was on the board. His first real breakthrough came from an unexpected source: used car tires. He found someone willing to buy them, so he scoured local scrapyards, bought 5 old tires, and flipped them for over $1,500. This was a game changer. With this cash, he was finally able to rent a small, unfurnished apartment. No more sleeping in the car. Feeling more secure, he leveled up his hustle to flipping used cars. He found a Honda Civic for $700, put a little work into it, and sold it for $3,900. Kuslag. His initial $100 had grown to about $4,000. He was building momentum. With a decent amount of capital, Glenn decided it was time to make a bigger move. Tapping into his past experience with mortgage loans, he set his sights on real estate. He managed to secure a bank loan for $100,000 to buy a house. But this is where he hit his first major snag. The renovations took way longer and cost much more than he had budgeted, eating up nearly $10,000 of his hard-earned cash. It was a stressful time, but he pushed through. Finally, he sold the house for $75,000, which, after all the costs, netted him a profit of around $20,000. This was a huge win, but he knew flipping houses one by one was too slow to reach his $1 million goal. He realized that to make $1 million in 90 days, he needed to stop trading his time for money and start building a brand, something that could scale. He pivoted to a new idea: a barbecue restaurant. He would call it Underdog BBQ, a name that perfectly captured his journey. He planned to not only sell delicious food but also create a line of branded sauces and drinks. Licensing issues threatened to derail his beverage plan, but he came up with a clever workaround. He partnered with local breweries and drink makers, selling their products under his Underdog BBQ brand. His big break came during a huge city festival. He and his newly formed team set up a stall, selling food and merchandise. In just 4 days, they brought in an incredible $21,600. The brand was starting to take off. On day 90, the final day of the challenge, the Underdog BBQ restaurant had its grand opening, and it was a massive success. The story of the underdog entrepreneur had captured the city's heart. Thanks to their aggressive marketing, online sales of sauces, seasonings, and merchandise, Underdog BBQ had become known across the country. The moment of truth arrived. A professional valuator assessed the business Glenn had built from scratch. The final valuation came in at $700,000. While he didn't hit the $1 million mark, he created a thriving company with the potential to easily surpass that milestone very soon. In the end, Glenn gathered his team and revealed his true identity. He wasn't just some guy trying to make it. He was billionaire Glenn Stearns. He explained that the challenge was never just about the money. It was about proving to himself, to his children, and to the world that, with determination and the right mindset, anyone can achieve success. He proved that the American dream is still very much alive. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.